Welcome to Keep Fit with Kim. I'm Kim. Today's 10-minute toning workout is aimed at strengthening the core. It's aimed at beginners and it's totally on the floor. If you have a small towel, you might find that useful to support your head, and you might want a ball or a rolled up towel to put between your knees, but you don't actually need any equipment for this one. We're going to start off by warming up. Let's roll back down onto the mat, nice neutral spine, and we're going to start with leg slides. So neutral spine, sliding the leg away, bringing the leg back in. Now for any of these exercises in the workout, should I say, I have videos on how to do them, how to make them harder, how to make them easier. So if you're unsure about what you're doing for any of these, I move through quite fast with this. Although it's aimed at beginners, I'm assuming that you know these exercises. So engaging the core. Try and keep the other leg still. It's about pelvic stability. Watch your lower back stay still. You're pulling the belly in, you're pulling up the pelvic floor, letting the leg slide away. From there, bring the feet and knees together, hands out of the way as you drop the knees to the side. So this is aimed at getting some mobility in the lower back. If that's too much for you, you can keep both feet on the floor, or you can take the legs a little bit wider, but the shoulders stay down. And I'm letting that top foot lift away from the mat. So if that's too intense, take the legs wide. Really most interested in getting some mobility in the lower body here, in readiness for the exercises we're going to do in a moment. Okay, from there, come back to centre, bring the knees in towards the chest, and we're going to stretch the hamstrings. So you're going to straighten that leg as far as it will go. Try and keep the ankle above the hip as you take it up, hugging one knee in, taking the other leg up, reaching up and down. So we're getting some movement in the back of the leg. We're squeezing the knee in towards the chest. Squeeze and lift. You can flex the foot as well if you wish. That's optional, but if you flex the foot, you're going to get a bit of mobility in the calf, a little bit of stretching in the calf, loosening up through the leg. So this should be gentle. Really, this really is only warming up. Our first exercise is going to be working the side legs. So on that note, let's roll onto our sides. Nice straight line. Heels, hips, shoulders, arms in alignment. Weight is forward. Watch you're not dropping back. Bend the bottom knee if you need to for support. And you're going to lift and lower. Now, as you do this, I want the outside of that leg towards the sky. So watch that you're not turning your toe up. The foot should be parallel. Also have a check that you're not letting that leg slip forward, or your bottom drop backwards. So quite a lot of things to think about here. When you've had enough rest, lifting that waist away from the floor. Really think about lifting that leg away from you. It's not about how high you get it. You should be feeling it. If you put your hand in your back pocket of a pair of jeans, for instance, you're going to be feeling it roughly where your forefinger would be, your index finger would be. So if you feel your leg is beginning to slide forward, you've probably had enough. Stretch that leg forward and rest. Next exercise we're going to do is part of a starfish exercise, but we're only going to do the legs. Coming forward onto your front. Make your upper body comfortable, so taking your head down into your hands. I'm going to keep mine up, otherwise the microphone is going to make funny sounds for you. Legs nice and wide, so think of a starfish, about the width of your mat, and you're going to squeeze the bottom and lift that leg off the floor and down. Now I've told you what we're doing, I'm going to drop my head so you can see the full exercise. So this is working the lower back muscles and the back of the leg. So you're going to feel it in the back of your leg, you're going to feel it in your lower spine. Think about lifting that leg away as you lift it. It's not bending the knee, it's a straight leg, foot softly pointed. And if you want to make it a little bit harder, you can add opposite arm, but that does make it a little bit more intense. When you've had enough, come back onto all fours, stretch the bottom back towards the heels. You can either hold it here, come all the way back into child's pose, depending on how your knees feel, or you can stay on all fours and just arch, but get some movement in that lower back. And we're going to turn round to the other side to do exactly the same leg workout. So starting off in a nice long line, feet in alignment, hips in alignment, knees, watch that you're in a straight line. Make sure your upper body's comfortable, add that tripod, slightly leading with the heel, but watch that your foot is soft. You're not just turning your toes down, you're leading with your heel, you're feeling it where your index, the side of your index finger would be as you lift and lower, lift and lower. So we're working the side of the leg, not the front of the leg. Sometimes you'll see this exercise done with the toe pointing up towards the sky. That's working a different muscle. So I want to be working the side here. Well done. And rest. Okay, from there, you're going to come onto all fours again. If you need to come onto fists, that's fine. If you need to roll up a towel under your hands to give your wrists some relief, that's fine too. Give yourself some space, so I don't need you all cramped up. I want your shoulders above your hands, your knees directly beneath your hips. Engage your core. And what I'm going to ask you to do is, without dropping your hip, slide one leg away along the mat, twist, bring it back. So you're trying to engage your core as you slide that foot away and bring it back in. Slide the foot away and bring it back in. Now, next time you get to that leg towards the back, I want you to engage the leg muscle. So you're going to turn the toes under and just engage. So it's almost like half a plank, just holding it there and then dropping it back to the floor underneath. Make sure your weight hasn't dropped back. Take the other leg out, push into those toes evenly between the two hands and that one leg, or the two legs even. Let's do that once more. So sliding that leg back, engage that foot, tuck the toes under, just push back, feel or engage, pull up your pelvic floor, well done. Coming back, once more last time, on the other side. Well done. And release. Just ease back, give your back a bit of a stretch. You can come all the way back into child's pose if that works for you. If your knees are too tight for that, that's fine. Just move around to loosen best you can. And then we're going to roll onto our backs to do very basic bridge. So here I'm more concerned with working the buttocks, getting those buttock muscles engaging. So feet are hip width apart, but bring them in fairly close to your bottom. If you've got a ball or a towel to put between your knees, you can. If you know your knees are going to drop out, then please do that. You can let your hands rest gently on the mat, and I want you to squeeze your buttocks and release. Squeeze and release. One more. Now from there, relax the buttocks. I want you to roll your back down into the mat. And then come back to a neutral arch. You can arch it up a little bit more if you want as well, just getting a little pelvic tilt one way and the other. This is our final exercise, so it's a little bit of relaxation for the back. Then I'm going to ask you to, as you push the back into the mat, squeeze the buttocks and lift up into a bridge. If you need to push down into your hands, please do. Watch what's going on with your knees. I often see the knees go out. Just hold it here and then just do a couple of little squeezes of the buttocks at the top. I say 3. And then roll back down. Think of your back as if it's a string of pearls, one at a time coming down, nice and controlled. Release your pelvis back into neutral. Do that once more, rolling back down, pushing the spine into the mat, squeeze the buttocks, coming out. When you get to the top, keep breathing. Just squeeze and release. Make sure you don't hold your breath in any of these exercises. It doesn't matter too much at the moment when you're breathing in and out, but if you breathe out on effort, it does make it easier. Once you've done those through 3 squeezes, rolling back down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little back massage, taking the feet back down when you're ready, 1 at a time. Arms out of the way, out to the side, and just going to drop your knees over to one side. Either feet one on top of the other or open. So very similar to what you did at the start, but we're going to hold it this time. Let's stretch through the lower back. Well done. Coming back centre. And take it over to the other side. You can do that stretch for a little bit longer if you'd like to. I hope you enjoyed the workout. See you again next time. Bye for now.